Hey folks, Mike here with a discussion on Epic Games. Now, unfortunately, I originally planned on putting this or starting to upload this video out on Monday, and then news came out that, well, Metro Exodus is coming out on the Epic Games Store exclusively. So, we're just going to re-roll with a video that I've already recorded and talk over that. So yeah, we'll keep it short here, as short as possible. I may cough a few times because talking all day, throat's kind of itchy. We'll try and keep that under control. I cannot make any guarantees on that one, especially since I'm not editing here. So yeah, Epic Games Store. It's a super long-term vision that I've not seen a lot of people talk about. There's been a lot of little bits of news here and there. If you look at Epic is an old company. They've been around the block a few times. They got a lot of different games and franchises do very well over the years. They also have the most widely used game engine, as far as I know. Also doing really well, and so, well, obviously Fortnite, the most successful game right now. And yeah, on top of that, the game engine that they've been selling and providing for a long time. So, to have a store is kind of the next logical step. They've already had the store up for a while for like the assets and stuff for the Unreal Engine. So they already had some back-end and some experience with that. But yeah, it's an interesting setup. So to have a successful store, you need two things. You need stuff to sell, and you need people to buy. So developer-publisher point of view, user base is tough to guess. I don't know what it is. What I do know is, Fortnite has like 200 million accounts, they said at one point. That's like the amount of unique people who use Steam in a year. So definitely a lot of potential people there. In terms of like peak counts, Steam averages like 16 million peak daily right now. Fortnite seems to have hit 8 million plus peak daily as well, so definitely a lot of people. But the thing is I feel like a lot of those Fortnite players on mobile or console. Most of them probably mobile, so it's tough to tell. If we use about 1/10 of them and say, a million daily, 10 million monthly on PC, that's still pretty decent numbers compared to the 16 million daily that Steam sees. So it's a decent percentage of what Steam gets on PC. So yeah, developer point of view, there's that. There's the fact that it's a very young audience, and so you have this generation of, this new generation of PC players, customers, whatever, potentially growing up with Epic as their only storefront they've used, right? And the stats kind of reflect that. The guy who ran Steam Spy, which was very widely used by a lot of developers, publishers for stats and whatnot. He was working with Epic on his store, and he's come out and said, something like 60% of the players, or Fortnite players, have a Steam account but don't use it. They may have a Steam account that they don't use, or they don't use Steam at all. So it kind of works in with what I was saying. It's a very young audience. They're probably growing up with this as their first gaming thing on PC. So if you look at this as a super long-term thing, well, you've got a brand new audience here, kind of ready to go, which will probably grow up with the Epic Games Store as their first storefront, which interesting concept, to say the least. On top of that, 88% revenue split as opposed to Steam at the time of 70% now. if your game does well, you're a big publisher of sorts, you might get 80%. It's still not as good as Epic's 88%. And also, yeah, it's a new storefront, so you know, whatever you put on the Epic Game Store right now, you're almost guaranteed to get this free, uncluttered front page kind of deal, right? There's not much on there. Like, I could scroll through all the games available on one page, so hey, if I were to publish a game on there, I'm going to get a lot of visibility, which is a huge plus. Now, from a customer point of view, well, I don't know. Yeah, if we talk about like the numbers I talked about earlier, that's a lot of people. Well, shoot, even on the mobile, right? If the mobile client would start saying, "Hey, you want free games?" That's like 200 million that they see, and maybe not in a year, but you know, that's up to 200 million accounts that you can track the PC and say, "Hey guys, you've already got an account with us. Why don't you just download this on PC and get some free games, right?" So, yeah, from a player point of view, why not? You got nothing to lose. Why not give it a try? That's one way to be introduced to this new storefront. So that's one of the ways they're going to build up a lot of players. Exclusives another way. You know, Metro is one of these examples, which there are more that are going to be happening over time. That's another way to build up that player base by putting out games that a lot of people want to play and putting them out only on that storefront. From a publisher point of view, well, maybe they get a better revenue split, maybe they get a lot of promotion, who knows. Yeah, beyond that, this is more of a personal thing, but from my point of view, I like the Epic Game Store. I think Steam has a lot of clutter, a lot of shovelware, right? They've opened floodgates to let anyone publish. You know, Steam sales, I can sit there and do my daily discovery queue 3 times, which is 30 games. Do that, you know, for what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks maybe?
4 lives remaining. Flag drop.
I don't know. Figure at least 10 times. You know, I can see 300 games suggested to me with my discovery queue, like 4 times a year. I see 200 games. Shit, that's a lot. I can see over 1,000 games suggested to me. And I've done this over years, multiple years now. I think I've only ever added 1 or 2 things to my wish list from the discovery queue. So, you know, it doesn't work on Steam. And funny enough, on the Epic Store, there's 2 games I was interested in that I had not really seen or heard about beforehand. So, having this very curated, very minimal, very clean storefront, at least for me, is a huge plus, right? Steam, like I said, Steam is pretty much a shit show these days, and I hope they do something about it. But they don't seem to know what they're doing at the moment. The new DLC page stuff that came out not too long ago it's a good example of them maybe not knowing what they want to do with their own storefront. But anyways, yeah, it's an interesting thing to say the least. Anyways, that said, there's still a ton of stuff missing, right? Like, there's no community features, all the social stuff missing as well. You know, simple things like the controllers and VR hooks that they put in that make it all simple to use. Cloud saves, the next support for some people is very important. I get to use my own local currency on Steam, which is very nice. Even something simple like searching and tagging for games, like there's none of that. You know, it's very, very early days. There's still a ton of stuff missing, but you know, same deal from a developer point of view. There's a lot of stuff missing as well. So I imagine most of that will be added long term, but you know, at least for now, if we look into the future here,
3
yeah,
lives remaining.
interesting future for Epic for sure.
They're rallying. Somebody get you damage.
Flag dropped.
You know, you have a large,
Sniper tower.
fairly young audience ready to use your client.
Flag
They're putting out really good games to attract both that young audience. People don't play Fortnite like me. But there's just some pretty decent games that they were handing out that I'm totally interested in. Like I said, I like their super minimal approach right now. But the fact that they have the Steam Spy guy working with them, helping them get a lot of data out of this and analytics, that's something that a lot of developers rely on. And they've complained about it in the past, so that's a huge plus. Yeah, this will be interesting to watch in the future. It's definitely looking bright for them, and definitely is a long-term goal as well, so we'll see in the years to come how this works out.